Welcome back to Live With, brought to you by Yamamoto Nutrition. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today's guest is our 2017 NPC USA Bikini Overall Champion, Danielle Phelps. Woo, look at that picture Johnny just put up there. That's a great shot.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the big win.
Thank you so much.
You're a young girl, 23 years old. You've done 3 shows, and you're an IFBB Bikini Pro.
I am quite accomplished.
A lot of people are not going to be happy about that.
Yeah, I'm extremely happy about that.
You are, but not a lot of other people. People don't like to see people succeed too quickly. I got to ask you right off the bat, because a lot of people would assume, well, maybe, she's only done 3 shows. She started last year. I believe you told me you did the Nationals, and you didn't do that well in your second show. They told you were too hard. If Johnny could put the picture up there, it's a crazy picture. How did you get into this whole, working out thing and competing?
Well, basically, I fell in love with the gym before I even knew about competing. I loved the changes that I was seeing on my body, and I'm naturally a very small and petite girl. So my goal has always been to add muscle, add size, and, curves, because that's what I've always wanted. So that led me to weightlifting, which then, led me to the sport of bodybuilding. And that's whenever I was introduced to competing, and I did my first show, and I was like instantly hooked, and, a new passion arose from that.
Yeah. What was the first victory you got? What was that first show you did in September last year?
The first 2 shows that I did, I won the overalls.
Right. What were they? Do you remember the names of them?
Yes, the first show was the Heart of Texas, and the second one was the John Sherman Muscle Beach Classic.
Okay, so you do those shows, you dominate, you win. Now you're saying, you know what? I'm sure people are telling you got to do nationals, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So you go to Miami, you do the nationals last year, and you placed 12th. Was
Yeah.
that a big disappointment for you?
Honestly, not really, because I kind of knew going into the show I didn't have a physique that was pro level just yet, but I was not expecting to place 12th, so it was eye-opening.
Well, now, if you win 2 big shows in Texas, which is a huge state, why wouldn't you think you had what it takes to be a pro bikini competitor? I'm sure someone told you should be up there, right?
I guess just like the doubts that I had, it was my first national show. I didn't know what to expect, really. It was all still kind of new to me at the time.
Right. So they tell you, you know what, you're too hard. Was that what you got?
Yeah, we're our worst own critics, they say.
So what do you do? How do you go back to the drawing board and be not as hard? Do you diet less, or do you eat more junk food? What do you do preparing for this year's USA Championships?
Well, we took the judges' feedback very seriously. They told me I was too lean, so that was our goal throughout the off season that I had, and then through prep we built a little bit more, and then during prep our focus was maintaining, fullness, roundness, and just not coming in so conditioned and hard, because it's very easy for me to get conditioned.
Gotcha.
And I have the mindset where I just go. I want to, I don't want to stop. And I'm always pushing it to the next level. So I had to take myself back a little bit and pull the reins back on my crazy self, and just keep the ultimate goal in mind, that I need to come in fuller and rounder and not so lean.
Which you did. Now I got to tell you, I'm watching you here, obviously on camera. You're a very attractive woman.
Thank you.
But then I look at the pictures from the stage, and you're like a supermodel. So the hair and makeup is the reason I bring this up is that hair and makeup is a very important aspect of the bikini competition.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And you maximized everything you had going on. Now, after winning Class B and the overall at the USA, which was a tremendously hard thing to do, there's 1 million girls in the show. A lot of other competitors from the USA jumped right into Tampa the week after. How come we didn't see you on a pro stage the week after? Or did we?
It was a little too soon for me. I wanted to give myself just a little bit of time to make my pro debut, so I am going to do Pacific USA's.
Oh, okay. When's that?
10 days out from that one.
When is that?
In 10 days in San Diego.
Oh, okay. All right.
August 15th.
Now, you're in college right now.
Yes.
You're you're going into your senior year in Lamar College. You told me out in Houston there. How is that? what's the perception of your classmates there? Do they know about the competition and what you just accomplished?
Well, actually, last semester I had taken a break, but the semester before that, whenever I had just got into competing, I would always come into class in the mornings looking like a hot mess. I had like my morning cardio gym clothes on, and my
Right.
hair was like up in a rat's nest
Yeah.
bun. I got the craziest look, and I always carried like my water jug and my meals.
Oh boy.
And nobody understands why you're doing that. They just
No.
think you're crazy.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of weird looks and a lot of questions.
I'm sure you still look good though.
I don't care what anyone thinks.
Yeah, I know. Well, you got to be that way. If you do, you'll have a nervous breakdown, especially in this sport.
Exactly.
Right?
You can't
Everyone
care what
critiques
anybody else
everything.
thinks.
Yeah, everyone critiques everything you do. Now, at 5'2", 101 pounds, which is what you weigh right now, you're one of the more petite, I guess you could say bikini girls. You're not quite as short as maybe say the India Paulinos, but you're on the smaller side. Do you
Yes.
feel that that's intimidating now going into the pro ranks where the girls are, a lot of them are taller?
No, not at all. I'm not intimidated. I mean, we're all different heights. We all, our body shapes and frames are different. I don't think it's anything to be intimidated by.
Now, obviously, I guess the goal would be doing this bikini show is to try to qualify for the Olympia weekend, which is going to be a little later in September.
Yes.
Now, if you let's fantasize for a minute. If you happen to win and qualify for the Olympia, you basically, in less than 1 year, have gone from someone who never competed to someone who's on an Olympia stage.
Yeah, that would be crazy insane.
Who's your coach? Who helps you with all your dieting and your training, all that stuff?
Chris Cruz with Center Stage Fitness, and he's also in Beaumont where I'm at.
Okay, so that's convenient. He's right there for you. And do you
Yeah.
find, is it a shocker to you when you started getting involved with competition, realizing how regimented the eating is and the training and the cardio and all that stuff, or did you like it right off the bat?
I loved it right off the bat. I immediately felt like I was doing what I was meant to do because everything just came so natural for me. I mean, of course, there's obviously, ups and downs and challenges and struggles along the way, but everything just came natural to me, and I loved every bit of it. The training, the dieting, it just felt like what I was meant to do.
Now, this is like a fairy tale type of interview I'm doing with you. Here you are, you've been competing less than a year. You're an IFBB pro. You won the USA Championships in bikini. You're doing your first pro show in 10 days. Ostensibly, you might wind up on the Olympia stage. Tell me about some of the hardships that you've overcome. Tell me about like your life and growing up and stuff that maybe wasn't so easy, because otherwise people will think, oh, well, she doesn't have to work hard. This just comes naturally to her, and I don't believe that.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't really been like always confident in myself or competitive. I wasn't the person to win stuff in school. Never really that confident. I never excelled at anything that I did. And I truly think that the reason why that is because this was my thing to excel at. Like, this is my niche, and I found it. It's my passion. It's what I love to do, and I'm good at it. So, I mean, before this, there wasn't really anything that I was good at, like I didn't win at anything. So to be able to do this and have something that I'm winning at and I'm doing well and I love, that's been like the biggest thing for me.
Was that depressing maybe that you didn't really hadn't really found your calling, so to speak? I see that Johnny put up a picture here that you were in some pageants earlier in your life.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I started out doing some pageants, and I mean it was fun, but I wasn't, it wasn't like anything that I was like excelling at, and it just didn't feel like my passion. Right. So that didn't last too long, but the stage presence part of it did help me out a little bit in forms of translating that into, the bodybuilding stage presence.
Sure. Now, other people out there might be watching, and they might be able to relate to what you're saying a little bit, because sometimes people, especially when they're younger, they feel like they don't have a place, or they really can't find what they love or they're good at, and they get depressed. How do you? What's your recommendations for people when they feel that way? What did you do to kind of help, get through those tough times?
To get through the tough times, you just, you have to remember, what you're passionate about, what makes you happy, I think something that has changed my life in a lot of ways is just completely dropping what other people think of me. I don't care what other people have to say. I don't care if they don't like that I have muscle, if they don't like that I'm lifting weights in the gym, if they don't like my hobbies of choice. Like, I don't care. So, my biggest tip is don't care what other people think. Do what makes you happy, and find your passions, and follow your heart.
Have there been people out there who've been very critical of you at all, where you had to say, I'm just going to get rid of this person from my life, or I'm going to ignore this person? Has there been negative feedback at all?
I have had some family members, question me. Mm-hmm. They haven't always been so supportive. Uh-huh. They're like, why do you want to put on muscle like that? That's not attractive for a female. Everyone has different opinions on that aspect of things, and then there has been some other friends that weren't so supportive along the way. And, this whole journey and process has taught me, which friends are real and which ones need to go.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, it's not like you have a lot of muscle. Like, anyone who would look at you and say, why you want to be this muscular is like a ridiculous statement almost, but...
Yeah, I know. I'm not super jacked.
I mean, you have abs. I mean, that's about, the extent of your super musculature, but I think that looks athletic, and I think, obviously anyone who's not in our industry doesn't understand what we go through here and what looks good and what doesn't look good. Maybe we have the skewed view of what we think looks good or not, but you certainly had the look that it took to win the USA Championships, which, like I said, is one of the biggest amateur contests in the world. You did all that in less than the scope of a year, and like I said, good luck in 10 days getting up on that stage. And I hope to see you in the Olympia weekend when we get out there in Vegas to cover the show. Hopefully you'll be standing up there with all the top girls in the world.
I hope so. That's the goal.
Well, Danny, once again, congratulations on the big win, and thanks for taking some time to interview with us and let us know what's going on in your life.
Of course, I'm happy we were able to talk.
All right. That's going to take us to the end of another episode of Live With, brought to you by Yamamoto Nutrition. I'm Dave Palumbo, and we'll see you next time.